Hello friends, welcome back to the Amit Dhakad AI. In the last video, we saw logging and debugging. In this video, we will continue with module and import. So how we can create module and how we can import. Like we have a module product provided by Python. Similarly, we can create our own module. So what is a module? In Python, a module is simple file containing Python code, like definition, function, classes, and variables with the .py extension. As a program group keeps all the code in the single file is unimaginable. Like if you are creating any project, so if you are keeping all the code in single file, that will be too large, right? And we can for that we split that in multiple files or modules, and we use like reusable, maintainability, and organized. So this is like how we can create module. And so like we have two files, calculator and main.py. Okay, so in this file in calculator.py, what we are doing, we are just creating two functions, like one global variable and one is the function add and subtract. So we need to import this add and subtract in the main.py. So how we can do that? Okay, so we have here uh, main.py. So you can see we are using import calculator. Okay, so it will look for calculator.py in the current directory, and we are calling calculator.add and calculator.subtract. So we see here, so it will return the subtract and difference. So we can see this. We have we will check this one. So I created basic first folder, basic module. Here I have two files, main and calculator.py. So you can see I have author, add and subtract inside the calculator file, and inside main file I am importing calculator and I am using calculator.add and subtract, and here I am using calculator.author. So if I run this file, okay, so you can see the output here is 20 difference author. Okay, some difference author. So you can see we are getting the result. So what happened if I comment this, like we are not importing, right? So you'll get the error, like what it will saying, could not find name calculator. Okay, and if we use delete this one also, that time also we will get error because the add also is not present in the current folder, right, in the current file. So could not find the name add. So this is how we can create it. So you saw we created one file in the same directory, calculator, and we are importing that into the main.py. So this is how we can import the files here. Okay, so we have multiple ways to import the files, okay, or module. So this is like for import techniques. So what is direct import? So what we did, we have import.math, and what we are doing, we are importing like import.add, right? So sorry, import calculator. So we did import calculator. So this is similar, import math, and we are accessing math dot square root function. Keep it namespace clear indication. Okay. Specific import. Instead of importing all the functions from math, we just do from math import pi. So what it will do, it will go to the math module and it will import only pi. Okay. Next we have aliased import. So you can see we import numpy. So we are importing numpy. So instead of using numpy in all the places, what we are doing, we are giving the new name as a np. So this is called aliased. Similarly, like if we have large module name like matplot, so for that we give the small alias numpy also. Instead of using numpy all the places, we use np. This is wildcard import. Wildcard import, what is that? Wildcard import, it will load everything. Okay, so what here we are doing, from math import star. So it is saying like import all the function from math module. So loads everything digits and pollutes your local naming space. So what problem it will have? So we have in the like square root pi inside the math module. So we have, like we want to create our custom function. So it will create error. So like suppose you import wildcard from two modules that define a function with the same name, like from math import star and from my custom math import star. Also define the sign function in both. Okay. So your local code now calls sign, which one is executed. The second import silently override the first one. So like you want to import did star import. Now you want to use the sign function from math, not the customer. But if you use this one, it will always call the second one because this is overriding for the first one. So this is the example of for like how we can import. So you can see we are importing math. So we are calling math.square from math import pi and shine. So import date time HDT. This is alleged module, and this is from math import factorial as a fact. So here you can see this is combined. How it is combined? It is importing from math as a factorial. What it is doing? It is aligning as a fact instead of factorial. Okay, so we will see the output of this one also. So we have import style here. So we have four technique, right? So if I run this one, I have to find directory of cd. So you can see direct import, specific import, alleged and alleged specified. So we will get the print statement for this one. This is how you can import any module. So next next is like how Python finds the modules that you are creating, right? How it is find. So when we run the import module, so how does Python know where to look? It search inside the list of the directories. What is from where? sys.path. Okay. So current directory, Python path, standard library, and third party library. Site package pip, system OS math. Okay, environment. So you can paint and even dynamically append new directory to the system path at runtime. So here you can see we have import system. We need to import this path in system.path. It will print all the current directory that is having. And after that, what we are doing, like we want to add anything. So what it is doing, we are system.path append. We are appending the folder that we want to add as a module. Okay, and import my module. So it will work after we add here. Same thing, we have script versus module. So when Python imports a module, it runs all code inside the module file immediately. If your module has executable statement like test, printer, or demo course, they will run in the main application during the import. To prevent this, Python provides a special variable, what is name. Okay. So what we are doing, direct execution Python file name main. So it is a script to start the program. Import execution, import file, and my file. So it acts as a library module. So how this will work, we will see in the example. So we wrap any execution block or test code inside the if statement, right? This guarantees the code block runs only when you run that file directly and stays silent when you import. What it means, like if you generally run any files, right, in the Python file, so what it will do, it will look for main function, right? It will check for main function. If you remember, we have create main function in the files. Inside that, it will try to execute that. So, but inside module, what we are doing underscore name equals to, we are assigning main, and when we are import this file, okay, so this code will not be executed when we import, but when we directly run like Python and what is the file name, database.py, that time it will run this code and it will print. So first it will print this line. After that, you can see it is calling the connect function from here. So it will print successfully connected to the database. After that, all diagnostics checks pass. Okay. So we'll see the as a result how it will work. So the second file we have f.py. Here we are importing database and application is started. Okay. So this is the system path example. If you run this one, it will print the directory of the current. Okay. So I will ignore this one. We will go to directly to here. So we have f file. So here just importing database and printing the application started and database dot connected. And second we have database file. So it's a function connect and name. So first I will run f file. Okay. So we are in this folder. Next, if I run Python. So you can see it's database loaded as module underscore name is database, that is application started. From where it is coming? Here, application started and successfully connected to the database. This is come out from the connect function, because this is connect is called this one. But you see the name function we defined this block here, the print app, you can see underscore underscore name is direct run diagnostic. These are not printed, right? So, and you can see this database file loaded as a module. So you can see this is coming from as if statement is not working. And if I directly run Python database, so here you can see it's saying it is running from directly and running internal address. It will print this one. After that, it will call connect function inside that. So it will be successfully connected to the database and all diagnostics check pass, right? So this is how we can ignore the data. Like if we want to run any testing code for that particular file, and we can use that inside there only in that same file. So when we directly run, so that code will execute it, and if we are importing, so that code will not execute it. Okay. Next we have Python package and underscore underscore init dot py. So a package is directly containing multiple modules. So package in the sense is folder only, but in the programming we call it a package. Okay, containing modules. It allows you to group related modules together to convert a standard folder in Python package. It's traditionally known to specific file inside name. So when we are defining any package, like we are creating here, like I created e-commerce. This I have my project, inside that I have main.py. Next I have package called e-commerce, inside that I am defining underscore underscore init.py. This will be empty file. If you want to keep empty, it will be empty. And what it will do, it will just tell, like it marks the folder as an importable package. So it will allow this e-commerce to importable in any other module. It executes automatically when the package is imported. Okay, so when someone import e-commerce, it executes by default. And it is used to initialize package level configuration log setup for package level. So that we will show as an example when we see like what it means. Right, by default you want to keep it, you can keep it, but if you want to do anything inside that file, that configuration or anything, you can do that also. Okay, so I will come to the in this folder. So you can see I have main.py. What it is doing, it is importing e-commerce, and from e-commerce import payments. You can see it's importing all these things, but again we can import like this also, import sub module. So if I go e-commerce, we have init payments and ships. If we are doing import e-commerce, we call that e-commerce using indirectly. Okay, and from here we are having payments. So in it you can see we are printing just initialize e-commerce package system, and it is saying version 2.1.0. Inside payments we have process API, process API function, and here inside that you can see we are importing from dot shipping import deliver. Dot shipping, it is saying like the current directory. Inside that what we have deliver. So it will print the message. Okay, so what happened if I run this one? So this is CD. So here you can see the output. Okay, so what is the output for this one? So first it is printing initializing import e-commerce package. After that it is package demo running. It's printing version 2.1.0. This is coming from init file. Okay, and next is payment process API of 499. This is coming from the payment, and shipping, this is coming from this one. So shipping package have hand over to deliver. Okay, similarly this, if I go inside payment, so you see the payment process API payment of RS, so the amount we are getting when we are calling this function. After that we are calling deliver, right? Next from init, so we are saving the version and just adding the print message, like it's initializing the e-commerce page. Inside when you can see we are printing e-commerce dot version, and from submodule we doing e-commerce import payment switch, importing the payment switch. And here we are doing process dot payments dot process API for 90. So this is how we can create multiple module like payments, shopping, and we can import to each other. This is the packaging and modules are work. So what we have next, we will see for like absolute and relative imports. So when we import one module into another inside the same package, so we have two approaches: absolute import and relative import. So specifying the full path of the project root folder. This is generally highly recommended because it is clean, easy to root, and works regardless whether the script is called. So from e-commerce dot shipping import calculators. Okay. Other different we have relative imports using the dot syntax to specify the path relative to the current module. This is useful when writing high self-content package where the package name could change in the future. So dot represent the current directory and double dot represent the parent directory. Okay. So here relatives import use the module underscore name to resolve position because this relatives import only work inside the imported package module. If you run a file with relative import directly like python shipping.py, so you will get import attempts relative import with no known parents package. So you can see here from dot shipping import delivers. We are what it is doing, it is check out and printing the message. Okay. So this is the relative inputs that you saw already in this. Okay. So which means this is e-commerce from payments from e-commerce import. So this is you can say absolute because this is calling from this directly package. But if you go here, you can see payments. Yeah, here you can see it's using dot. Okay. So this is absolute. So relative because it's related to the current directory. So understanding circular import and solution. So what exactly the circular import, right? So circular import, you think like you have module A. Okay, you have module A and module B. So you have some functions that are present in B, like B. I have function B, B1. These two functions I have inside this, and here I have A1 and A2, right? So think like B1 using this A1 inside this. So B1 import A1 from A. Now this B2, this is using B1 from this one, right? So you can see think this is importing this one and this is importing this one. So this is called the circular importing. Okay. So a circular import happens when module A attempts to import module B and at the same time module B attempts to import module A. So this creates an infinite loop of execution and Python will raise the error. So module A import module B. Module A imports module B before defining its classes and module B imports module A to execute the code. So it will give module A has no attribute or import error. Okay. So how we can fix this? This is simple like refactor common code, more the shared dependency to a new third module. Okay, like utility utils.py differs local imports, move import statement inside the specific function or method where it is needed instead of pulling it in the very top. Okay. So this have module A with action A and trigger A. So it is importing B modules, module dot B. So this is importing inside trigger B only, not in the complete module A. So this will work because when this function is execute or run, that time only it will be imported. Similarly, you can do like import inside the module A. Sorry, module B. This is so module and import summary. So what we saw in this video, so we completed modules like .py file containing Python statement and definition, 4 import methods, What are the like direct import, specific import, list import, and wildcard. System.path underscore name function, set name to equals to underscore main. Okay, like this. Packages, absolute import, relative imports, and circular. This is the things that you needed to cover all the four modules. So you need to do practice. That only will understand properly if you only watch the videos. You can get the idea, but when you start like writing the program, you will forget what you learned and what you learned. So please like, subscribe, and share. Click on bell notification icon for more updates. Thank you.